begin.
Welcome to the Wise Take DFS podcast. I am your host, CK013. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. And I'm joined here by none other than Patio Joe. You can find him on Twitter at Patio Joe Ref. That's REF. Patio, how's it going, my man?
Going pretty well. I have a hectic couple of days leading into the holiday weekend, but DFS is going okay. I have one good lineup that's still live. If we can get something out of the Dodgers, it would really be helpful. I have Bellinger, Seager, or Grandal. But yeah, I had a decent day in the cash game. Man, I have 168 points, and I'm still struggling to cash right now. But sometimes that's just the way it is.
Now, Joe, I want you to tell everybody why you're struggling in cash today. Who's the player you didn't take?
I did not play Aguilar at first base because he was 2,300, and I just felt like I liked Morales' matchup better, and he was only 3,400, and I had him down as a value play. I just didn't. I don't know. I just didn't really like. It was more of a tournament option because he was batting seventh.
Right.
You know, so like if he was batting up higher in the order, or I think he was batting sixth or something. Like it just wasn't. It kind of just went under my radar, even though I put him down there. I really like Morales, so I was kind of doing my lineups on that.
You're not the only one who liked Morales. A lot of people like Morales. You know,
Yeah.
A lot of people like to attack Ubaldo. And I was talking to Paulie D because Paulie had mentioned that he wasn't all that surprised that Ubaldo ended up doing well because he was checking out the pitch matchup stuff, and it looks like Ubaldo was throwing like a lot of sliders, and Toronto is one of the worst teams in the league hitting sliders. So. But yeah, I mean, like without looking into the extra stuff, I mean, it's Morales, and then not to mention Morales doesn't have a problem hitting a slider. He's like the one guy on that team that can hit it. So it was just a bad day for Toronto, man. They're just But no, I just like messing with you because I assumed that you play him just because I saw him in your article. So I was like, now you had him in the value section, but still I saw him down there. I was like, oh, I know Joe is killing it right now. Paulie, man, how about Paulie, man? Unreal.
Yeah,
his article was fire, man. Just like. Wow, I think he had co-plays of the day, and it was VR who double donged, and Ryan Braun who had a first run in his first at bat. Man, shout out to Paulie D, man. Keep that heater going, man. Articles are fire, man. Get them all there free up at wisestake.com. Catch Joe's cash game article. He had Aguilar there. Somewhere between the translation, it didn't carry through, but you had him in the article. I mean, it's too bad that you can't have that count for something with like FanDuel or something. Like, well, it was my article.
What it is because of the way that like I just believe I've always trying to pay up at first base. That's how it goes underneath my radar. If that sometimes that happens, I really like. But today, for instance, it kind of didn't because on third base I played TJ Rivera. So he was like 2,000. He got like 19 points.
Yeah. He had a good
now
game.
I don't think anybody thought Aguilar was going to double dong.
No.
So that's another thing. We thought he was going to get his value, but almost 20x. Come on.
No.
That's a little much.
That was crazy. And it was funny too because we talked last night. Me, you, and Paulie. We were talking about how Thames is going to be mega chalk. He's only 3-1. Thames didn't play. He didn't even play. And it didn't matter. His backup got the chalk call, but I completely get it. And here's the thing too, dude. Is like if you would have paid up, I think Votto was in your article too, as an option. If you would have went with, so there was like 3 first basemen total you went, and you went with the one that didn't do it, but the other 2 double donged. Votto double donged and Aguilar double donged. You were on the ball, man. You were there.
Yeah,
you were there, man.
The last few days, it's been real nice. So
yeah, and I know you played VR today. VR is your second baseman, right? Pay down second base. That's Joe's rule.
And I really VR was another player because he just came off the DL.
Right.
That I read Paulie's article and he got me on VR. So
he loved him, man. He really liked VR.
So and he's hot right now. So you kind of got to ride it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. And this Yankee game, man, that's like 2-hour rain delay. It's still going on. It's in the 4th inning. So
I can't believe they ended up playing that thing, man. Just absolutely nuts.
I have a lot of Yankee shares, and I was like, at some point, because the one lineup that's doing really well has 0 Yankees. So at one point, I'm like, let's just rain this game out.
Yeah,
So all
man,
those
me too.
people
I was
at
like,
this
just
point,
let it go. Like nobody cares. Just let it rain.
yeah,
Just
because
like
even in my cash game, I had Gardner and Gregorius because I just thought Gregorius 3,100 batting third against James Shields, who right now is whatever. I just can't. This is the weird day. Look outside, everybody. If there's a full moon, it wouldn't surprise me. Okay, Ubaldo Jimenez almost threw a complete game shutout, and James Shield has pitched into the fifth inning
that's that
against
shit.
the Yankees. He's only given up 2 runs. Like something's weird, something's happening. Go and check on your loved ones, make sure they're okay. Like the rapture could be coming. I'm not
Oh
sure.
god.
This is what I look at it.
Oh man, it definitely was a little wacky. Now I tell you one thing that made sense to me. Denilson Lamet, man, I love that dude, man.
Oof.
He made the pitch. He made my pitching article today. He was on Paulie's too. I mean, me and Paulie had we wrote up the same pitchers today, ironically, literally the same exact three guys, and that was funny. And we both had Lamet, so that was pretty cool. He's the guy I ended up going with in my one lineup. Like I said, the hitters, I didn't do too well on the hitters. I took a lot of reds. I had Joey Votto. I had like a full red stack. And then Jimmy freaking Nelson, man, unbelievable, dude. Like,
We were talking about that though. We
yeah,
were talking about how
yeah,
Nelson had like that. He had that upside to where he could shove it. But we thought, I mean, even I was at some point like I was on it. I was on the Reds. I thought Hamilton because if he gets on, he's going to steal.
right.
And he didn't get
Yeah,
on.
me
So
too, me too.
Shebler, I mean not Shebler,
Shebler didn't
Jeanette
play.
finally didn't do
Why
anything.
was Shebler not playing? That's what I want to know. Why did they not play Shebler?
I don't get sometimes these decisions that these managers make. Just I don't understand it.
Yeah, well, they got embarrassed for their efforts, so.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, man. Anyway, man, I just the articles have been coming along great. Only free for another few days. Starting next week, everything goes live. So we're hoping anyway. And so make sure you're checking the articles when you can. The weekends are pretty much a free show. Our content is basically going to be Monday through Friday, and the weekends is extra stuff. If we have time to do some stuff on the weekends, we will. But basically Monday through Friday is going to be for baseball season. That's the time to make the money. But anyway, man, we got a pretty good. I keep getting distracted. I know Paulie's been killing it, man. Excited, but Paulie's Twitter followers jumped like drastically.
That's
tonight.
good.
Like it jumped from I think it jumped like 25 people just in a matter of I swear like a couple hours. It was crazy. But when you're hot, you're hot, bro.
Yeah, I mean mine has gone up like 100 like in the past like 2 weeks or 3
There we
weeks
go.
since I've been with
That's
you
what I
guys.
like
So,
to hear. Oh, you know what else? We got our first screenshot. Felix, I forget the Twitter handle, but he's on the website now under the reviews because he posted us a screenshot of himself winning some money, and so we put him on the site. So if you're doing well, if you're reading Patio Joe's article, if you're reading Paulie D's article, if you're reading my pitching article, and you do well, just send us a screenshot. Send us a screenshot. We'll put it up on the website under the little testimonials page, and it looks cool. I promise you, it looks really, really cool. All right, now I think we're ready to talk about the slate. Are you? Are you warmed up? Are you nice and warmed up?
Yeah, let's do it. We're warmed up.
All right, we got a lot of games to get through. So obviously, new format. We're just gonna talk about pitchers. That's what we're gonna do because when you talk about pitchers you like, then that's good, and then you're gonna end up talking about pitchers that you don't like, which is gonna lead to stacks and players you like, etc. So we'll talk about pitchers, and the first pitcher that we have here is Jacob deGrom of my New York Mets. He's at home against Philly. What do you think about deGrom tomorrow?
I mean, I like deGrom. He's at home, like we just said. He's against the Phillies, who they don't scare me at all. I'd like to know maybe their BVP against them. I don't think it's that good. His upside. He has the probably the highest ceiling tomorrow. I think, considering all the matchups. There's other guys that are around him, but the thing is that he's 12-1. So I think that there's 3 other guys, at least maybe 4, that can give you a ballpark figure of what deGrom is, because you're talking about deGrom was $400 less than Kershaw. He's not in the same, that same bracket. Now, because he's playing the Phillies, he might be a pretty good cash option, but I'm looking down at other options, at least tomorrow for cash. I think I might go down just one notch below. And I think it's a better matchup. So, yeah, deGrom is good. I think in tournaments, people will go off of it because he's too much on a Friday on a 15-game slate. But that might be what's contrarian because he can throw up 60. Now, I'm gonna roll it to you though, man. This is your boy. So what do you think?
My boy DeGrom. You know how I feel about paying up for pitchers in tournaments, and I haven't been playing too much cash lately. So like from a tournament perspective, I don't think I'm gonna go there. I think this is a good matchup. I think there's a good chance he gets 50 or 60 or whatever it is. I just don't think he's the only one that could do that. And like you said, if I can get something close done for a cheaper price, I'd rather take my chances. Because on a 15-game slate, it's going to limit you. Playing DeGrom is going to limit you. Now, listen, the way I see it is, whenever there's a Kershaw or DeGrom, you can always if you could play those guys. You just have a small margin of error for the bats. Like if you were going to play Kershaw today, and there were other value first basemen, if you didn't play Aguilar, you're not winning anything. Like in a tournament setting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so for me, it's like there's people out there who are really good at picking those value bats and finding cheap stacks and all that, and those people are gonna play DeGrom, and they're gonna be up there. You're gonna see him at the top of leaderboards because I do think DeGrom's gonna play well. He's at home. We always talk about how he pitches significantly better at home, and it is pretty drastic, similar to like Archer, and like better numbers than Archer, but his K per 9 is drastically different. His WOBA is drastically different. He's 5.71% better at home. His WOBA over the last 2 years. Against righties, 7.99%. So he's 7.99% better at home against righties than he is on the road against righties. That's drastic. That's 246, of course. So it's not a question of is DeGrom going to have a good game. He's playing the Phillies. I think he will have a good game. Now, are the Phillies the matchup? I hear you. They don't have a good WOBA, but we've seen them kind of nag pitchers and kind of stay around and not really strike out a ton sometimes. But this is a guy like DeGrom. A guy like DeGrom, I think, could still get it done. It's just like you said. If I can get something close for a cheaper price and then be able to pick whatever bats I really want to pick and pick guys that are obviously good instead of trying to find these 2K punts that, I have no clue if they're going to, it's hard to do that. So I'm with you. I don't think I'm going to play him in tournaments. I think there's too many pitchers. I don't think any one of these guys you have to play. Somebody can win with the DeGrom lineup. Somebody can win with a cheaper pitcher lineup. Like, it can happen. It's just you have to look at it from, like, what are your strengths? And I can tell you right now that I do better picking more expensive stacks. I do. I don't do as well when I have to do a bunch of one-offs of cheap bats. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that was a long
I agree. And I just think that the low price value option is not going to hit 2 home runs. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen every time.
It's going to happen maybe once a month that you're going to get the guy that's under 2,500 to hit 2 home runs.
Right.
So it's one of those nights where on top of it, not only did you have Aguilar that was uber chalk hit 2 double dongs, you also had VR who was uber chalk too, hit 2 home runs. So when you have both guys like that, like that's why the cash lines are so high tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I'm at 174 now, and 177 is the cash line. I don't know. I'm like creeping up, like creeping. It might get it. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, tomorrow night, I even think in cash right now. I'm gonna look into it, but I even think in cash, I think I might be off of him.
It does make your lineup more difficult, and I mean 12-1 for DeGrom. That's a lot, man. Do you know what he is on DraftKings by any chance?
Yeah, let me check right now.
I'm just curious.
Okay. Now on DraftKings, I like him more. He's 12.5.
Oh wow, really?
See, that's cheaper. Like usually like
13.5
13 or 14. Yeah. Like I kind of like that. I still like the other pitchers that are below him better though. That's my thing.
But on DK you have to pick 2, so that could work.
Yeah, that could work. It just depends on who you want as a second one, which we can talk about that.
Yeah, no, of course, definitely. All right, so let's move on to the next guy, and just want to touch on some of these higher tier guys. Alex Wood of your Dodgers, your Los Angeles Dodgers, against the Padres. What do you think here?
It's taken me a long, hard time to get on the Wood train. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
I do.
So this is the guy I like better. He's in San Diego. He's playing the Padres, a team that I think that he can dominate real easily. I like him to get at least a quality start. I actually have a little bit. I don't know about the win though, believe it or not. Do you know what his how what the line is right now on that? Let me look at that. I want to see what his line is. It's probably pretty high, believe it or not.
He's usually a pretty good favorite.
Yeah, he's a minus 205 favorite tomorrow.
Yep.
3.1 team total for the Padres. So to me, I like him better than DeGrom in cash. The Phillies have the same run total, 3.1. DeGrom is what 2K less, over 2K less than
Wood,
on
yeah, yeah,
FanDuel
yeah.
than Wood. And so right there, you can fit in a lot more bats. And I don't think that no matter what happens, I don't think that I don't think it's DeGrom's gonna put up the amount to where your bats can't make up those points with that extra $2,000.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. I mean, even if he goes for 60, if Wood gets you like 50 or 49 even, like you should have been that $2,000 should have helped you win the bets enough to where you could make that up. Like for me, I think I'm gonna go even lower. Don't get me wrong, I think Wood's in a great spot. And like to be perfectly clear, just because I don't want to play a guy, I do one lineup. So like and so it's like just because I don't want to play a guy doesn't mean that I don't think he's gonna do well. It just means that I know I'm going to have a harder time building a successful lineup with just that one guy, even if he does well. So like for me, I'm probably going to look even lower for tournaments. In cash games, though, I think you kind of have to pick one of the two. And I totally get the merit for Wood. I think the Grom is a little bit safer, to be honest, just because like he is home at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I noticed that while Wood's splits aren't that drastic, he does have higher WOBA numbers on the road, at least over the last couple of years, which we don't have a ton of sample size on because he's had a lot of injury and whatnot. So it's like for me, if I'm playing cash, I think like I would prefer to play the two because you're like, it's if you're playing Wood at 10-5, like you're still gonna have to play some of those like punt options and especially a player like you who always pays down to second base, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have to go a little further. Like instead of taking like a guy that's like 28 or 27, you might have to take a guy that's like 22 or 23 if you could find him. But like I totally get with Wood because the lineup build is going to be way easier. If you're taking Wood instead of DeGrom and Cash, your lineup build is going to be so much easier. You can get access to, it's just easier decisions to make with hitters. Whereas if you're going with DeGrom, it's just basically like Kershaw, where you're just trying to squeeze in these punt guys, hope they do well. And like Paulie always says, if you're playing DeGrom, you're going stars and scrubs, right? If you play DeGrom, you're going to have to play like the cheapest guys possible, maybe an outfield, second base, whatever. And then you're going to pay, try to get some studs everywhere else. So I definitely think it's interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of do it. Just look at my lineup tonight.
Right.
My cash game lineup, I had Kershaw. Obviously, he's got 61 points. Just like we said, don't overthink it. Then a catcher, I went down as far as I could, partly because I didn't like. I did not like Homer Bailey. So I went for Pina. I mean, he was 2,300 and he got 25 points. Then I paid up as high as I thought I could or wanted to for Morales at 3,400. He was my highest priced guy though. So that shows you what you have to pick and choose your spots. VR obviously 2,600 at 37 points, and then my real punt was 2,100 was TJ Rivera with 19 points.
Right, batting fifth.
So batting fifth. So they moved him up. That's why I liked it. I had another small punt with Manuel Margot batting second in San Diego, and he got me 22 points.
Right.
So as you could see, the highest price hitter that I got was 3,400. So when you're picking these, I've done. That's why I say if you stick to this, it's easier to find value because value will pop up at you and see
Yeah,
And
I mean, there was a lot of value at second base today.
Mm-hmm. I had like 4 or 5 guys on there.
Yeah, yeah. The White Sox had 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically you got to wait until the lineups come out too, because some guys like the other day Max Moroff, he was leading off at 2K for the Pirates. I don't even know what that guy's numbers are. He's an autoplay for me though, because on a day when you have somebody really big like Kershaw that opens up so much more, and even if he gets one hit and he gets 3 points, well, that's 1x. I'm cool with that. Even if he gets zero, I'm still cool with that.
Yeah, because it's more so like you're just hoping that the next guy you get like covers them.
Mm-hmm.
Like put
Mm-hmm.
up like 30 and cover them both, and then it averages out
Mm-hmm.
all right.
And that's why I say maybe DeGrom is safer tomorrow, but I don't think he's safer in the much where I don't think you can. I think you can make up whatever safe points that you
Right.
might lack with Wood
In the bats.
in the bats and whatever. So maybe instead of like I basically paid down at 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 spots. Instead of paying down at 4, maybe I pay down at 2 or 3 now,
Right.
and I have another extra bat. So it does help. But yeah, what's up? Let's look at some other pitchers.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna throw three names at you, and I want you to give me
Okay.
your thoughts on them. If you don't, if you could pass, you can tell me you like them. And if you don't like somebody, say
All
that.
right.
We got Robbie Ray, Lance McCullers, Johnny Cueto. So Robbie Ray at home against Colorado, Lance McCullers at home against the Yankees, and Johnny Cueto on the road against Pittsburgh.
The guy I like most out of that, I like Robbie Ray, and it's just because even though he's at home and it's a bad ballpark, Colorado has been cold lately, and they don't play that well away from home. Ray is really coming into his own. He is, I believe he's under 10K too, which is really good value, I think. The only reason why I wouldn't pay him in cash is just because he is playing the Rockies and he is that ballpark, and there is other options that are just better. But Ray is 9.96. I like him. McCullers, he's another guy that's been great this year. I just don't like attacking the Yankees. He would be a GPP only because you could see him shut him down, but not catch game wise. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, you can see him shutting
And
down,
then
but you can also see him getting blown up. Like, you can go both
exactly.
ways.
And then Cueto has just been off this year. And Pittsburgh, there's guys on that team that have seen him a lot. Andrew McCutchen has 4 home runs career against him. So I'm not into Cueto except for maybe his ERA, which is 4.20. So that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So he just hasn't been it. I actually like Cole better, to be honest with you. I like Garrett Cole better tomorrow against the Giants.
Right.
I know the Giants don't strike out, but
neither does the Pirates.
Yeah. So
these are basically
like
two very similar teams right now.
Mm-hmm.
The way these guys, they both play in serious like pitchers parks, and they both are like, their offense doesn't strike out, but they don't do much either.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting the matchup. Robbie Ray, I think he's definitely interesting. You have to like Robbie Ray. I mean, like you said, I wouldn't trust him in a cash game either, mainly because he's pitching in that ballpark. So it's like I'd rather play DeGrom at Citi Field than play, or even Alex Wood in the Padres park, than freaking Robbie Ray in Arizona. It's not him. I think for tournaments, yeah, I think it's a great play. For McCullers, I think it takes some stones to play a guy against the Yankees these days. But if you're going to do it, it's got to be on the road. And Houston, there really hasn't been too many runs in Houston this year. I don't know what's going on. Last year there was a lot of runs. Like, it seemed like a hitter's park. It's not seeming that way this year. For some reason, there's just not much action going on. So, yeah, man, I like McCall. I think he's interesting, but I have to dig on that a little more because that's the thing. He's the ultimate GPP guy. He could. The Yankees do strike out, and right now it's the time to pick on him. Man, Castro's out. Whoever else, but their lineup is like unrecognizable. If you can get through the first 4 hitters, the rest of it's pretty much like I don't even know I don't know who some of these guys are. So that makes McCullers interesting. But like you said, we're gonna want to see the lineup there for sure. But I have no interest in Cueto at all.
Yeah, here's another thing about Ray is that I think that he has the ceiling though.
Yeah,
that can match DeGrom and Wood.
Agreed.
Maybe
100%.
even beat him.
100%.
He could strike out more than anybody tomorrow too, because they can strike out. The Rockies do strike out a lot. So.
Yeah, they do. They strike out a lot, and I agree with you 100%. The only thing that's a little concerning is his last 2 starts. They were both against Philly, so it could have been a matchup thing. But like he didn't do terrible in his home start against Philly, his last start. But he got like a 38. And like with Robbie Ray for a while, we got used to anything under 50 and you're disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's why he's under 10 now. It's because he had two games. Because like the Phillies when he was in Philly, he get 25 FanDuel points, and then when he was home against Philly, 38 FanDuel points. So, yeah, that's a little concerning. But it was against the same team, so it could just be maybe the Phillies just got to read on this. Like they just do a little better against them.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now.
Okay.
Let's look at the 5 starts where Ray was the best pitcher in baseball. Milwaukee, a team that strikes out a lot.
Right.
San Diego, who's terrible. Pittsburgh, which was probably, I mean, that was a complete game. He still had 10 strikeouts.
That's the same thing. He's basically DeGrom right now.
And then Milwaukee and San Diego again.
Yeah.
So maybe it was a little bit of a mirage.
No, you're right. Actually,
Maybe it was a little bit of like a good stretch of just teams that don't hit the ball very well.
Well, you know what? You know what's interesting? I'm looking right here. He played Colorado on the 28th of April, right? So that's a while ago, and like he got 42 FanDuel points, 6.2 innings, 9 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. That's a great. That's really interesting because I liked Robbie Ray, and now I'm starting to think maybe you're right. Maybe it was a mirage. Like, what are the chances you play like the two teams twice that strike out probably the most among the most in baseball? The Brewers this year, forget about it. I love taking pitchers against the Brewers. Obviously today was Homer Bailey, no, but like a strikeout pitcher, like I played Lamet against those guys. I jumped at anybody against the Brewers that I think has any kind of K upside. I'll try it. So that is interesting, Joe. That's a good point, man.
I mean, and if you think like the start before he started his run was against Pittsburgh, who crushed him.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe it is a little bit of a mirage. It's something that I don't know. I think that he goes down my list right there because Colorado is a way better hitting team than all of those teams that we mentioned. So he really hasn't faced an elite hitting team since the 9th of May. You want to say Detroit, and he had 24 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and like even before that, he played the Nationals in the start before that. He didn't have a bad game. 10 strikeouts, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, but that's only 46 FanDuel points. Like you're not competing with DeGrom with 46 FanDuel points.
So basically, bottom line is he definitely has a strikeout upside.
Yeah.
And you can roll him out there because he's 9.6, but I would temper expectations. I don't see a 60-point performance at all.
That is interesting. That was a great point, man. I'm gonna have to look into that tomorrow. I'm curious just to see what happens now. I want to. This is gonna be like a little test for him, right? All right. So you mentioned Garrett Cole. You said you actually like Garrett Cole tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote him down on my list of guys that I'm kind of interested in, and he's one of them. Maybe I'm trying to. His price on DK is a little bit too much for a second pitcher.
What's DK?
He's 9.5. It's a little much. Yeah,
9.5 for Garrett Cole.
He has been pitching better, and
Right.
I just think he's always the forgotten guy a lot. And if I was him, I'm just, this is a total speculation of somebody that I follow the game a lot. You know, the way that the Pirates are going, if they keep going a little bit more and more out of it, Garrett Cole is a very attractive option for somebody at the trade deadline, which is a month away. So, you know how players seem to play better in contract years? They seem to pitch better when it's trade deadline time.
Right.
And, Giants aren't going to beat anybody. The only thing is he's not going to get the strikeout upside.
Yeah,
and
you're going to need him to go like 8 or 9.
Yeah, and here's maybe the thing that Cole just does not have the upside that I would probably ultimately X him out.
Right.
Is that he facing a team that doesn't have K upside, and the most strikeouts that he's had is 6.
Right.
Or 8, and that was May 6th. I mean,
so
against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So and that's a team that strikes out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just don't think that he doesn't have the strikeout upside to win you a GPP tomorrow. But I like him more than I like
Yeah,
him more than
I was
Cueto.
gonna say your point was just that you liked him more than Cueto. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm with you.
Mhm.
With Cole, for Cole to really compete with those guys, and at 8-9, he's not even like that cheap to where you're getting a significant discount for the risk you're taking as far as upside, like for the the lowered ceiling. But for a guy like him, you would need him to do with like what teams keep doing to the Pirates. We saw Robbie Ray did it, Degrom
Mhm.
did it. You got to go full nine. You can get double digits, but you got to go full nine.
Mhm.
Like Kershaw against the Angels today. What do you pitch? 7 innings,
7 innings
12
and
strikeouts.
12 strikeouts. A team
Yeah,
that doesn't strike out a lot, like we said, it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
That's Kershaw. Kershaw can
Yeah.
do that. Degrom,
Hmm.
Degrom and Robbie Ray to shut down a team that doesn't strike out like the Pirates. They had to go. They
Hmm.
both had to go full 9 innings.
Hmm.
Um. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. On both ends of that. I'm not interested in either pitcher, but yeah, I definitely don't like Cueto at all. All right, so let me ask you a question. So now we're out of that upper tier kind of thing.
Hmm.
Um, any of these guys stand out to you that you would be interested in playing?
Wait, out of the upper tier, so we're
No,
now
no, no. We're
below.
now in the under Cole, basically, from like
Okay.
Santana down to Does anybody that might stand out to you?
Yes. Yeah. I am. I'll just go down the list. I'm not looking at Santana, but it seems like whenever he's under 9K and people don't look at him, he's going to throw a complete game shutout. The problem is that we talked about this before, that he's thrown complete game shutout and the ceiling is like 45.
Yeah.
So pass him. Vargas, same thing. I think that Minnesota's been facing lefties all week, and he might even be a candidate for a sneaky, just gonna get blown up. Pineda, oh God, Houston. He's at Houston. You just don't want to do it. Faria is a guy I'm considering.
I
He
love
faced
Faria tomorrow.
Yeah, he faced Baltimore last year or last week. He got hit a little bit, so now it's in Baltimore. There is some rain. There's about 4 or 5
Oh,
spots tomorrow,
don't tell me
but it
that.
doesn't seem like anything. It just all seems like light rain. I looked. It's all like light rain, light rain, light rain. So I guess it could materialize to something. Another guy I want to look at is Sonny Gray. I He's another guy that falls into the I want to get traded and get my ass out of Oakland category. And so he's facing a team. He just faced the White Sox and did well. Teams that doesn't hit righties well. Now he's facing the Braves, who don't have much power. They're playing in a pitcher's ballpark, so I like him tomorrow. Roark is garbage. Estrada,
Well, okay,
never again.
hold up right there. So let's talk about never again. I heard you should sneak that in there. Estrada
Yeah,
and never
never
again.
again.
I don't blame you,
And you
man. I
know
think
what's crazy?
what?
He went to the same junior college as I did. Like
Oh,
he played on the same junior college baseball team as I did. Never again. I'm sorry, bro. No, not loyalty. You are on my hit list. Sorry, bro. I don't
more
want to
like
be
your shit
mean.
list, bro.
Yeah.
So real quick, going back to Faria. This is interesting because we don't have much of a sample on this kid, but we've seen him enough to know he's pretty good. Like he's got some K upside, right?
Mhm.
What's interesting, and I'm probably looking too far into it. I wonder if people are gonna back off because he just played Baltimore at home and only got 34 points. Like I wonder if they're gonna sit here and say, oh well, they didn't strike out against Hap today, and last time they were against Faria, like they got 3 earned runs off of him. So like I don't think that Baltimore is going to be popular. I'm just saying I wonder if people will kind of be hushed off of
Mhm.
Faria. Because in my opinion, at 8-4, he
Mhm.
should be the chalk. I don't think he will be, but he
Mhm.
probably should be. I mean, if you look at his game logs, I'm talking about for that price, right?
Mhm.
41, 50, 55, 34. And on top of that, the two highest, the 50 and the 55, they were both on the road against Detroit and Toronto. So
Mhm.
ironically, his two worst starts have been his home starts 41 against the White Sox and 34 against Baltimore. So I like Faria a lot, man. I think he's talented. I don't, okay, they didn't strike out against Hap today, whatever. I still don't think that Baltimore's any good right now. And Chris Davis is a big lefty they're missing. You know what I'm saying? I really like Faria, man.
Yeah, you said that there's not much of a sample size, but
Right.
I do think there is some merit to 5 days ago we hit you in your place and now you're coming to our place.
Right.
with a more of a hitter's park.
Right, but it's like I
So,
know I agree. It's like not the best circumstance, but that's why to
hmm
me, like from a game theory perspective, it all kind of goes along.
hmm
Because you're right. I think most people are going to look at him. Oh yeah, I want to play him. He's eight. Oh, you know what? No, he just played Baltimore, and they got 3 runs off, and that was at home. And now they're going to go to
hmm
now they're going to a hitter's park. Like I feel like people are going. And like on top of that, we just saw that Hap got like what 2 strikeouts through 6 innings.
yeah,
Like
Hap did not do well today.
he didn't get blown up. He just didn't strike anybody
No,
out. And so like I just feel like the combination of those things are gonna keep people off of him, even though at his price, take everything out, but at his price, he should be a lot more popular than I think he will be.
hmm hmm I agree. I agree.
All right, so let's move on to that. I just wanted to mention that. You mentioned Sonny Gray. That's interesting because you also mentioned the fact that it's contract situation. He's at a point where he's gonna have to. He's probably ready for a change. Let's just say that.
hmm
And so he has been stepping it up a little bit. Now to his credit, he's had the worst luck with injuries, like
hmm
going back to even like the end of last year and all that. Um, but we did see Dinelson Lamet strike out a ton of these Braves, right? A team that we say doesn't strike out all that much, but I guess they can, right?
hmm
And they're going to Oakland. So
hmm
I'm just curious as the only reason now you like them, like what upside do you think you're getting with Gray here? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm concerned about the ceiling.
I'm basically saying that Sonny Gray is just as good as Dillison Lamet
I
tonight.
see. I see.
That's what
In
I'm
this
saying.
spot, and
Yeah.
so you're sort of expecting him to
hmm
come close to what Lamet did.
Yes, and um, believe it or not, I think that another guy that you should be looking at a little bit lower is in the same game is Fultonavich. And I know it's another guy I wouldn't be in love with it, but Oakland strikes out a lot. So I'm looking at teams that strikes out a lot, and he does have that upside to strike out teams. His last outing, guess who was against? Milwaukee. Okay, is a
Right.
common theme here, 9 strikeouts.
Right.
And then against Cincinnati, he had 10 strikeouts on the 2nd of June. So I'm saying he has the upside to strike out some players tomorrow night in the same matchup. And I mean, the A's lineup doesn't scare me. I mean, you have catch game porn, but he is just what it's for, you know? So, which by the way, he's 2,800. That's a little,
I know. They put him out of your price range, bud.
yeah,
He's right on the cusp. He's
yeah,
right on the
yeah.
cusp right there.
Yeah, he's like the hot chick. I mean, you ain't that hot. You ain't,
Like no, you ain't
you
that.
ain't that hot for Mastros. You know,
Yeah, it's like
I can take you to Outback. But
yeah,
you're not
right,
gonna.
right, yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. Like I'll take you to like McDonald's, but not the pizza place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was horrible.
Oh,
But anyway,
okay, so here's another thing I'm talking about. The reason why I like Fultonavich again too, and this is for you DraftKings people out there. I like his price at 7,400. And so if you're gonna play DeGrom or Wood, somebody told me when we first started out in this business or playing DFS, the great Mr. Tommy G said that when you're picking your pitchers on DraftKings, the number that you kind of want to stay around is 18,000 combined between the two. That doesn't mean you can't go above it or stay below it, but 18 is pretty much like general is what you want to shoot for. So if you were to pick guys like Wood or DeGrom, and then you go down to Fultonavich at 7,400, that's right around 18, 19,000, right around that price. So that's why he's more attractive to me on DK. So that's why I like him. And there's one other guy on DK that I will also point out, and I also think he's decent on FanDuel, and people are going to think I'm crazy, but Clayton Richard. People don't remember this because they have really, really long, they have short memories, but on the, what was it? The 4th of April, the second game of the year, Clayton Richard, 8 innings against the Dodgers, uh, 5 strikeouts, 49 points.
Oof.
And then he faced I think he might have faced the Dodgers one other time, and they hit him. They hit him around all right, but on DK he's only 5,500.
Wow.
So I think that he has that. I mean, he shut the Dodgers down before, so I don't. He's another guy that I wrote him down strictly because of that. And then finally, I wrote down just because the team is god awful against righties is my boy who is releasing his own country album probably any day now with Tim Tebow collaborating is Austin Bibbins Dirks pitching against the White Sox. So I think that the White Sox are just terrible against righties. So he's 7,300 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings he is 5,600. So you have two spots right there where if you wanted to play DeGrom or Wood in tournaments, those are the two guys that I would pair them with because they both have really, really good upside, in my opinion.
I'm not seeing the upside with Bibbins Dirks. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at his game logs. I'm seeing 3 strikeouts against the Yankees, 5 against Toronto, 2 against Washington. Um, I'm not really seeing more than like 5, and I'm not really seeing him like against the Yankees and Nationals. He did go 7. He seems like he doesn't always get like I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. Like he always gets
Mm-hmm.
tagged up because he doesn't. But he does seem to have a little bit of an issue with strikeouts. He seems to lack that upside.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking DraftKings SP2.
Yeah, I am, and I'm just it's strictly a matchup based.
I know I
You know,
totally get it. And on DraftKings, you have to keep in mind like you're looking for like you get points taken away. So
mm-hmm.
like you're looking for guys that not just strike out. You're looking for guys that don't hit very well.
Good whip. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and they're playing real late tonight. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the game is still going, right? It's 1 in the morning on the East Coast, so
Mm-hmm.
it's what 12 o'clock in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still playing. So for FanDuel, no way. DraftKings SP2, yeah, I totally get it. Especially if you plan on
Mm-hmm.
paying up for Degrom, I totally get that.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with Montgomery. Like, am
You
I
mean
dying to?
Richard?
I'm sorry, yeah, Richard. I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
same thing with Richard. Like, I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, is there anybody? You know what? There's one person I wanted to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
John Gray.
Yeah, I wrote him down, and the only thing about he's coming off of a foot injury,
Mm-hmm.
so you just don't know how it's going to affect. Like I don't know like what how his pitch count's going to be or whatever. And I would also John Gray is a strictly fastball pitcher,
Mm.
so I that's why he's somewhat successful in Coors because they've tried to go heavy with fastball pitchers with sliders who don't really have a curveball. So if you in your research see guys that hit fastballs extremely well or sliders extremely well, I would I don't like Gray tomorrow because of that
Yeah.
and because of the pitch count.
Yeah. I mean, that's my big concern. I only mentioned him because I know a lot of people like him. Like just in
Mhm.
general, people like John Gray, and I like John Gray too. But I'm with you. I'm
Mhm.
very concerned. It's a foot injury. With pitchers, you got to wonder. So I'm a little concerned. I love his price at 7.7.
Mhm.
I mean, on the road over the last 2 years, he's got like a 10K per nine, 25.89% strikeout rate. Totally get it. He's been dominant to righties as far as his hard contact. 40% hard contact to lefties,
Mhm.
22.86 to righties. It's pretty drastic. All right, so let's talk about some of these pitchers that you want to attack, Joe.
Yes. Keep you lead it off right here. I'm looking for something real quick.
All right. Let me see. Well, we could start at the bottom of the list, which of course is the guy that is killing everybody because he's just not getting killed. Mike Pelfrey.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I mean, I don't mind Texas. I think Pelfrey is obviously like most pitchers, he's worse to lefties. He doesn't strike people out.
Mm-hmm.
He's just getting it done this year. He's just not getting hit all that hard. It's killing
Mm-hmm.
me, man.
Mm-hmm. It's
But
gonna happen.
it's gonna
That's the
happen,
thing.
and I think it's gonna be the lefties because his hard contact rate
Mm-hmm.
to lefties is super high. So Texas has a lot of powerful lefties. The question is,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we can do some research tomorrow into this. Obviously, we don't have our tools with us now, but I'd like to see. Pelfrey is a sinker ball pitcher or a splitter. He throws the ball down. I'd like to see what guys from Texas can hit those low pitches. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So I got him down there as one of my. We gotta remember tomorrow though. It's Friday and it's also Anibal Sanchez Day.
Oh.
That's right, Anibal Sanchez Day. That's right. Where you pick your Indians
Oh my
and you
god.
stack against Anibal Sanchez. You
Yeah,
go with Lindor, Kipnis,
my man is dancing right now.
E5, Santana, because it's Anibal Sanchez Day.
Oh man. Oh my god. That is awesome. For those of
So
you who are not watching, if you're only listening, Joe was just dancing and just naming off Indian players that he wants to pick against Anibal Sanchez.
because it's Anibal Sanchez Day. Should we
It's
do it
Anibal.
again? Let's do it again. Here.
I'm zooming in on you. There it is. Get it, Joe.
That's right. It's Anibal Sanchez Day, everybody. I'm telling you, every start that he gets is one more gift. And every out that he gets, actually somebody gets their wings to heaven. So it's a win-win situation either way. If he doesn't get outs and we make money, or if he makes outs, somebody gets to heaven. So guys, it's Anibal Sanchez Day. That's right. So, anyways, okay.
All
Should we
right.
go on to the next picture?
Anibal, yeah. Oh, we could totally do that.
So what do
We'll
you
act like
think?
nothing happened.
You-
Oh,
you agree?
I 100%. It's Anibal Sanchez. It's
Yeah.
Anibal Sanchez. 100% agree. I got nothing back to say. You stole the show on that one. I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
What are we doing with? I want to talk about both these guys. Matt Garza, Edison Volquez. It's Miami at Milwaukee. So Garza's been having a better year than usual. Volquez, like out of nowhere, was Superman, but he seems like lately he's come back down to earth. So what's your stance on both pitchers here?
I didn't write down Volquez as somebody I really wanted to target. I might look into that tomorrow. But Garza is some guy. Yeah, you could go after him tomorrow with any one of the bats with righties or lefties. I like, so don't worry about that. I like Stan, Ozuna, Yelich, Real Muto. If he could for some god reason, please start batting up in the top of the order again. I'll start playing you more. And yeah, so I like that game. I put Garza down there, and he's the place where he could give up a lot of runs quick.
Yeah, definitely, man. And like the thing is, oh, the freaking thing just went out on me. Anyway, yeah, you know what's interesting actually? I with Volquez is like I never have luck targeting him, Volquez.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I like a side, and I like the Miami bats at least for now, you know. But Garza's looked a little better, which is like a little alarming. I don't know why, and like I don't want to believe
Mm-hmm.
it. I don't want to believe it. You know, I don't like
Mm-hmm.
him, and I want to continue to play guys against him. But you know, he's kind of forced my hand and kind of like paying attention. But it's a small ballpark. It's a
Mm-hmm.
huge ballpark bump for Miami, huge.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Volquez, like I just thought, would you consider him against Milwaukee? We talked about how much Milwaukee strikes out. Volquez doesn't have a ton of K upside, but we have seen him do it time to time.
I mean, everything that we've talked about in this last 30, 40 minutes is we've come across that Milwaukee is a team for strikeouts.
Yeah, after they just put up 10 runs today. Yeah,
Yes.
let's target Milwaukee.
Attack them. I bet you they still struck out like 7 or 8 times though if you look at the box score.
Yeah, no, it's true. They do.
So,
they strike out a ton.
I think that he's definitely believe it or not, he's 7,500. We didn't talk about him, but yeah, I guess he's a GPP flyer. I mean, yeah, I guess I can't see why not, but I don't think I'd play him. No, I wouldn't. But
yeah. All right, so let's see.
I got a couple more.
Yeah, okay, yeah. What you got? That's what I want.
All right, so for you, I think like Ben Lively's going to come into Citi Field and just like literally take his pants off and just sit down and take a crap over. And And I think that I looked at it and I'm like, this is the day where the Mets score 6 runs in the first inning because they haven't been home in a while. Conforto hits a home run, then whoever hits second gets on base, and then Bruce hits a home, and then it's like you're like, damn, I didn't have the Mets stack today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because or I didn't have, or Duda. You have all the lefties or Granderson.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a Met stack tomorrow. I don't know why. It's just sometimes they have those days
Oh yeah.
where
Oh yeah.
where they're like Conforto leads off the game with a home run. And you're like, oh, didn't have him.
Yep.
That's a great
And
stuff.
then and then there's Drupal Wood, and then Cespedes or Bruce
Mhm.
Wood, and
Yes.
oh yeah.
And I just think it's gonna be it's one of those days. They're coming off a really good. Didn't they win today? I think they won today, right?
Yes, they did. They did. They
So they're
did.
coming off a really good win. They're heavy favorites at home.
Mhm.
Ben Lively is anything but, and I think that I really like the Mets tomorrow, and I'm trying to look. Let's see what some of their players are listed. Um, boy, yeah, Granderson's 3,500. Bruce is 3,500. Um, where's Conforto? Boy,
Oh.
I haven't played him in weeks, so I haven't. Is
Has
he
he
been hurt?
He might be hurt because I know Granderson has been leading off lately.
Let's see. Where is the Mets?
I'm just trying to pull up his. Yeah, day to day. Apparently he's been hurt.
Mm.
His hand.
Yeah, he's
Third straight
3,300.
contest. Yeah. He's 3,300. I think Cespedes is cheap. 3,200
Yeah.
for Cespedes.
Hmm.
Like
He's gonna break out. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. I think that's a sneaky stack tomorrow.
It's almost like they priced the Mets to be able to stack them with DeGrom, right?
Hmm. Yeah, it seems like you can get all of those guys in there
Right.
and be pretty good. And I like him. Another team I like the lefty Rays against Dylan Bundy.
Yeah.
Even though somebody said Chris Tillman might be starting out. Just double check that. I'm not sure. And then finally,
if it's Tillman, even better, man.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter. Man. So, Tillman or Bundy, don't matter. Al Bundy, Peggy Bundy, Bud Bundy, anybody.
I would much rather have Tillman than Bundy. I would
Yes,
much prefer
well,
Tillman. If we can get Tillman,
yes.
that'd be great.
Mhm. And so yeah, I am, and then finally, late at night, Parker Bridwell. I'm going to attack him with the Mariners. Ben Gamel, Segura's back. He had a pretty good. His price is pretty low. Gamel's 3,200. Haniger's 3,200. And Seager is 2,700. There's another guy. You just wow. And Segura's 3,600. So they raised it a little bit. But yeah, I like the Mariners tomorrow night too. Yeah, I wrote down. Yeah, 6 teams. So
Yeah, man. I think I'm with you, man. It all makes a lot of sense. I mean, and regardless, does it really matter? It's Anibal Sanchez Day.
Mm-hmm.
How about one more time, Joe? Yeah,
it is.
You have
it's
it again one more
Anibal
time.
Sanchez Day. Yeah, it is.
There it is.
It's Anibal Sanchez Day, everybody. And when he pitches a complete game shutout tomorrow, please don't at me.
Don't at me. Oh man, it's always a good time when Patio Joe is on the show.
That's right.
Oh man, you ready to play some Dong Watch, brother?
Yeah. Let's play some Dong Watch. What's the rules?
Let's see. So we did home and away. We did AL, NL. Well, no, we did pricing yesterday, right? We did 4, 3, and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Want to do that again? I kind of like that format.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter to me.
All right.
It's kind of tough because you kind of got to look at all the prices at once, but it's kind of
That's a good point. I better pull up something because I have nothing right pulled up in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily you make the first pick. So
yeah. let me pull it up too while we're waiting.
It's a Uh-oh.
While we're waiting. Just while we're waiting.
Just while we're waiting. This whole music. That's funny, man. Matt always played this song. He would always play this randomly. We were like
Oh,
joking around.
nice.
It's hilarious. You California guys.
Well, this is the song that Adrian Gonzalez. That's his walk-up song.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is.
So
That is. But you don't
okay,
hear it anymore
so
because Bellinger took his spot. What?
yeah,
What?
he did.
All right, go for it.
Holy moly! Okay, so what are we doing here?
4, 3, and then
4K or above?
yeah, 4K. No, wait. Yeah. 4K or above. 3K or above, and then 25 or less.
Okay, 4K or above, 3K or above, or 25 or less. 4K or above. Let me see here. No. Wow. Jose Ramirez.
Ooh, yeah. Anibal Sanchez Day.
Exactly.
I'm gonna steal one of your picks, dude. I'm going with Corey Dickerson, man.
There you go.
I want some Dickerson, man, because I'm seeing it might actually be Tillman. I'm thinking it might be Tillman. And if it's Tillman,
going with the dick. All right.
Yeah.
Now under 4, 3 to 4, right? You said
3 higher than 3, lower than 4.
Higher than 3, lower than 4. All right. Wow. There's higher than 3, lower than 4. Basically, I look at the pictures and I'm like, yep, he is terrible. Boom. That's the one I want. Boy, wow, they even priced up the Indians batters because of this.
Well, it's Anibal Sanchez. Dude, they all qualify for on the FanDuel pricing. Brantley, Lindor, and Kipnis, and Encarnacion are all under 4 and higher than 3.
All right, I got one. Nomar Mazara.
Ooh, curveball there.
Yeah.
Went with the Ranger. Well, I'm sticking with the game plan. Logan Morrison, because I'm really starting to like the Rays. Really starting to like them. I'm hoping it's Tillman. I'm seeing somewhere else that it might be Tillman. I think I'm seeing what you saw earlier, and it might be Tillman. And if it is, and not to mention, I think the Rays are projected for like 5.6 runs. So, yeah, I go with Lomo.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now 2,000 or
2,500 or less.
Okay, 2,500 or less. Wow. Before we go anywhere, everybody, tomorrow Wilmer Defoe is going to be probably batting in the top of the order, playing second base or shortstop because of Trey Turner being out.
Yes.
So get him in your cash lineups tomorrow. That's just one guy right off the hand that's just like kind of jumping out at me. 2,500 or below. Okay. Ooh, this is going to be a ballsy call because he just got brought up. Nobody's going to be on him. Ketel Marte, if he plays.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I know it's a total like really, really out there. But my thinking is that he's been stuck down there because they've had Owings and Ahmed and Drury up, and Ahmed just broke his wrist, so they brought him up. So you think that they're going to play him now? It's just it's a stab in the dark. But I like it. It's off the grid.
Yeah, for sure. I totally get it. Definitely.
Because there's not much. Jeez, I'm looking. There's not much. Ew.
Oh no, there's not much at all. And like, dude, did you notice Kyle Seager's 2.7 tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wow, he's having a rough year, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me see. 25 or less. I don't know why I picked that one. I was like, on this kind of slate, it is not easy. Okay, let's see. I could find somebody. I totally could. Maybe I can't. All right, let me go with I'm gonna go with Yolmer Sanchez. I mean, he just is, Joe always talks about paying down at second base. Should be leading off 2.5 against Austin Bibbins-Dirks. And I'm just banking on the fact that because Bibbins-Dirks doesn't have a ton of strikeout upside, I'm hoping that Yolmer can at least put the ball in play. It's a punt.
Mm-hmm.
But he's leading off. If I'm going to punt, I'm going to punt Joe's way, and I'm going to take a leadoff guy paying down at second base, brother.
That's right. That's what you do. That's how you win things.
All right. Listen, guys, appreciate you watching. Joe, appreciate you coming on. Don't miss, tomorrow is Friday, so don't miss the, well, actually, I guess today's technically if you're listening to it. Don't check out the articles. Make sure Joe's articles, Paulie's article, my article, it'll all be out today. Last weekday that it's free. We may or may not do something over the weekend. Probably not. Probably won't start doing stuff again until Monday, which is when we're going to be live. So make sure you don't miss it. Also, Paulie D has been red hot. You're not going to want to miss his. Follow these guys on Twitter. I don't know why you're not following them on Twitter. Patio Joe at Patio Joe Ref. Paulie D at Paulie DDDDD 8 Ds. Then of course CK_013. Don't miss out. Don't miss out. You see all these other guys making the money. You want to make the money with them, right? Anyway, Joe, man, appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, it was fun. I won't be here for a few days. I'm going out of town for 4th of July, so everybody have a safe and fun 4th of July. Don't do anything Audie wouldn't do, which isn't much.
It's not much.
And, just enjoy yourself, play some DFS, relax, spend time with the fam, loved ones,
Do your thing. Man. That's it. You got to enjoy it, man. And Joe, you take care, man. Have a great weekend. Have a great trip. That's right, Patio Joe will be away. So Sunday, we'll be back with the live show. It'll be me and Paulie D. So anyway, guys, don't forget Anibal Sanchez Day. Joe, for myself, as always, good luck.